Hello, everyone. I'm Miss Grace. I'm sure I've seen you in the classroom, but it's good to see you in video format as well. Welcome to our first video for English 10. I'm here today with my kitty Moose. This is one advantage of videos. I get to show off my cats. And today I'm just going to give you a quick introduction to English 10 and what the heck modern classroom is. You might have heard this in some other classes too, but it's a new thing we're trying in a lot of classes this year. So our goal for the video is that students, you, will be able to define what modern classroom is and how English 10 will work this year. So firstly, what is a modern classroom? Generally, it's a new way of doing things in schools that's trying to take advantage of the fact that you all have Chromebooks, that you all have busy lives, that you all have different things and experiences that you're bringing into the classroom and taking out of the classroom. So it's meant to be more individualized and meant to work better for you, while also allowing the teachers to have more time to actually work with you and, teach. So, if you're a person who feels really bored in schools sometimes, you already know what we're learning, it's going so slowly. If you feel like you're being overwhelmed with information and it's coming too quickly, if you feel like you desperately need help and no one's giving it to you, Modern Classroom is meant to address all of those needs and hopefully make school a bit better for SpongeBob. So we are going to be a co-taught modern classroom. Myself and Mr. Godin are teaching you together, and we're going to be using the modern classroom system. So that really means a few things. This is a modern classroom. In a modern classroom, I'll be creating instructional videos like this one so that you have more freedom to move at your own pace. Instead of missing a lecture in class and having no idea what's happening, you can come back to these videos, fast forward, rewatch them. They will be there for you. Because I won't be doing big lectures very often, instead, the teachers will be free to work with you one on one or in small groups, so you can actually get help and support with the things that you need support with that might not be the same as someone sitting on the other side of the classroom. So, what this means is that different students will be working on different lessons at different times. Not everyone moves at the same pace. You might be really good at one unit, and another unit might be totally new to you, so it takes you a little longer to go through the material. That is totally fine and completely expected in modern classroom. The materials will be there for you, and with the support of your teachers and your classmates, you're going to work through in the way that makes the most sense for you. At the end of each lesson, you'll have a mastery check, which is basically just a quick check in to see, all right, do you know what we were learning? Have you mastered the material? These are very low pressure. If you don't pass the mastery test, that's fine. That just means you're going to look back at your materials, maybe check in with a teacher, and then you'll revise your work and submit it again. You can't fail a mastery check. You always get to retake it. So you revise it until you show true understanding of the material, and that's what allows you to advance to the next lesson. So there's really three parts to Modern Classroom. The first big one is blended instruction, and that means there's a mix of in-person and online instruction. So the teachers will be in the classroom working with you every day like normal, but you'll also have these instructional videos that you can watch either in the classroom or on your own time. The second piece is the self-paced structure that I was just talking about. You learn at your own pace within each unit, although there will be some deadlines for units as a whole. So you can find students who are at the same spot as you to work with, or maybe find someone who's ahead to help you out, or someone who's missed a bit and you can help them out. And finally, we'll be using mastery-based grading. You are expected to learn and show mastery of the material. That is the goal of education. So you will continue working and revising your materials until you show mastery, and that will be when you move on to the next lesson. So our daily routine in this class is going to be pretty simple. When you enter, the first thing you will do each day is a daily do now, which will be a quick slip you'll fill out, 5 silent minutes. That's basically a check in, letting you see what your plan for the day will be, how are you doing, and asking if you need any support from teachers right away. The rest of class will be the main lesson. You'll usually start by watching a video like this and taking notes in your note packet. You'll have some practice work to do to demonstrate and develop the skills we're working on. There might be an activity you work on by yourself or in a group, or if you're at the end of a lesson, you'll complete a mastery check to show that you're ready to move on. And that will be the class routine. There will be some days that we move away from this routine to work together as a class. Those will always be noted on the calendar, and I'll always give you a heads up when that's going to happen as well. You'll only need a few simple materials for this class. Firstly, you will need your Chromebook every single day, and it will need to be charged. So please make sure to charge your Chromebook overnight and bring it to class every day. We have a few extra chargers in the class if you need to check them out, but not enough for everyone. So the more you can do to be ready, the better. You'll also need your own set of headphones. Again, we have some classroom headphones that you can borrow if needed, but you'd probably rather have your own pair anyway. Writing materials, we'll be doing a lot of on paper work as well. We have extra pencils and pens in the classroom, so if you're ever missing a writing utensil, just let us know or grab one from the side of the room. And finally, you'll have a printed out unit packet, which I'll provide for you, and you'll want somewhere to keep it, ideally a 3-ring binder. If you just have a folder, that will work as well. Sorry, that's my other cat in the background if you can hear her. And again, if you are unable to get a binder or a folder, check in with your teacher. We'll see what we can do to help you out. So deadlines in Modern Classroom are pretty flexible. There will be target deadlines posted on the objectives calendar and in Schoology, and this is kind of the expected due date, but it's not a firm due date. If you finish early, great. If you need a little more time, that's totally fine. The only strict deadline is that all assignments have to be turned in by the end of the unit, and this will again be posted on the calendar. The end of the unit is when your grades will be fully updated with all the materials, so all formative work has to be in by then. If there's an extreme circumstance, something comes up, talk with your teachers. We always want to make things work, but in general, end of the unit means all assignments have to be turned in. There will also be a pacing tracker in Schoology that will help you keep track of where you are in the unit. Are you on track? Are you moving a little slow? Or do you have extra time? And it'll also help you find people you might want to work with. So the pacing tracker will look something like this. Obviously, it doesn't have names or anything in there yet. This is just an example. But it'll show each student and what part of the lesson you're on, so you can see if someone's on the same lesson as you, if you want to work together, or if someone's ahead and you'd like to get some help, or if someone's on a lesson you've already done and you want to help them out. There'll also be 3 stars of the day, just giving some compliments and shout outs to students who have really demonstrated our Hawk values. And then at the end of each lesson, as mentioned, there will be mastery checks, and this is a formative assessment to show that you've really got the material under your belt. You've got it down. These will be the only classroom work that has to be independent. Any other formative work you're welcome to work on your own or with a group. You have to work on them silently on paper in a special mastery check zone at the front of the room. I'll show you in class. So this is just a check-in. You're welcome to use your paper notes, but you won't be able to use your Chromebook, and you'll have to turn in your phone just while you're working on the mastery check, which shouldn't take long. If you pass, you move on to the next lesson. If you don't pass, that's all right. You get more help either from your notes, your classmates, or your teachers, and then you can revise your work and turn it in again. Finally, summative assessments will come at the end of the unit, and these may vary. They may be some writing, speaking, tests, projects, all sorts of things. Most of your grade will be based on the summative assessment. So, this is the most important part of the work you're doing. It's where you get to show everything you've learned and bring it all together. So, we'll talk a bit more about summative assessments and grading in the next video, but just to wrap up for right now, in our modern classroom format, we'll be using a blend of in person, small group, and individual instruction, and these instructional videos. You'll be able to work at your own pace. The teachers will be much more available to actually work with you and give you help when needed, and you'll move on when you show mastery. And if you don't show mastery yet, that just means you get to keep working. So I'm excited to be trying out Modern Classroom with all of you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. We are here in the classroom to help you out. Moose, he might not answer your questions, but that's okay. He doesn't have training to be a teacher anyway. See you all next time.